worth of content for her. And her engagement just massively picked up. She gets comments of people saying, you know, oh my gosh, I completely resonated with this. This spoke to me on such a deep level, you know. And she's been really boosting her engagement in that regards. And so she's now a full-time client of mine, where every week I'll write her social media content for her. I've written her ebooks for her. I've written articles for her. I've done her web copy for her. And she's just, every single time, she's like, yes, this is exactly what I needed, which has been absolutely incredible as well.
That's amazing. And I know even with Misty, with the handwriting, the book was actually what launched her online course.
Yes.
So there's so much more to, you know, what you do in terms of helping people to get their message out there in a book. Because I know the online course was a direct extension of that book. Isn't that right?
Yes, absolutely. I'm actually doing her course at the moment, and everything, every new week that I go through it, I'm like, oh, this relates to this section of the book, and oh, this relates to this section of the book. So it's really exciting.
Very cool. So what can other aspiring writers do if they want to get their work out into the world, whether it's a fiction book or a nonfiction book? What would you advise them? Because, you know, you're a young mom, and, you know, you really took a while it's almost like you were an overnight success, but it took you a while to get there. So what would you, you know, give as advice to some aspiring writers who know they have a message in them, but they're not sure they can get it out there? Maybe they need a ghostwriter, or maybe they just need somebody to hold their hand through the process. But what would you advise them?
Yeah, absolutely. First things first is I would just put your pen to paper just once. Try 100 words. That's always what I recommend to people first, because once you get started, it actually becomes easier to keep going. It's just taking that first initial step, and 100 words is a small paragraph, and it's enough for you to realize what direction you want your book to go in. The next thing I would recommend is absolutely, if you're not sure how you want to make this work for you, get in touch with someone either like myself or other ghostwriters or other writing coaches, and just ask them how best you can get your thoughts to paper. So everyone has different techniques. The technique that I use has helped so many people because it's the quickest and easiest way for you to realize exactly what it is you want your book to be about. So it's not something that you should be doing by yourself. Writing a book is such a massive journey. I mean, I had my publisher to help me. I have a friend who's been writing her whole life as well, and I had her to help me. So I had people looking at my drafts all the time and giving me advice. So this isn't a journey that you want to be doing by yourself, especially because books are such a public domain that if you like it, doesn't necessarily mean that it makes sense to other people, because you know exactly what you're talking about, whereas other people don't. So it's important to have a support group or to ask for someone to give you feedback or hold your hand along the journey. And then the next I would say is to just, you know, understand that your story is important. There are so many people in the world who are going to need your story, and honestly, if you don't publish it, you're going to be doing the world a disservice. So which is something that I struggled with in the beginning, because I was like, oh, what if everyone hates it? What if my goals, I don't reach my goals? What if? But then I just kind of realized, well, you know, but what if it's amazing? What if I help so many people change their lives? You know, what if I help, you know, like the grade 3s, I'm helping grade 3s release anxiety, which I never imagined in my life. So it's really important to just understand that your message is needed. And if you don't write this book, then you're not going to be able to help the people who need you and your story.
That makes perfect sense. And, you know, I didn't even realize that you were helping so many people to share their voice through social media. Because one of the things I think people really struggle with is, you know, what are the messages that they should put out there? I know for me, with LinkedIn, and I have, you know, 27,000 connections, and I post pretty much daily. But even for me, it's a struggle. What are some of the services that you offer to people who want to create more engagement on the social media platforms, but they just don't have the time, or the creativity? Because what it sounds like, Jordan, is, you actually get to know what their voice is, what their message is, and, don't just put content out for the sake of putting up a post, but putting posts up so that people can actually engage. Can you talk a little bit more about that? Because I know there's so many people that struggle with this.
Yeah, absolutely. So number one thing, like you said, Rhonda, is it's important to get to know people's voices and their messages, because everyone is so different and everyone is so personalized that it's so important to understand who your client is and what their message is and who their ideal clients are. So what I do is I offer services to write, whether it is your social media posts, or whether it's your blogs, or whether it's your articles or web copy, or whatever it is that you need for your business. I offer packages that I can do weekly, monthly, one-off web copy, etc., that just takes the pressure off people who don't, in either one, enjoy it, two, they don't know how to do it, or three, just don't know where to start. So I ask people to give me some inspiration of what they want, because I in no way, shape or form imagine that I can read everyone's minds. So I get them to give me some inspiration, and then from that inspiration, I go back to them with whatever content it is that they needed, and which allows them to just copy and paste it, or publish it under their name, or whatever it is that they need to do for all their social media platforms, whether that's their website, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter,
That's awesome.
Anything like that, yeah.
So if people want to get in touch with you, I know that you're in Australia, but
yes.
Reachable in a multitude of ways. What's the best way for people to reach out to you so they can learn more about having you help them in one way or another with either social media, writing a book, ghostwriting, whatever it happens to be?
Yeah, well, I'm most active on Facebook and email. So you can email me at sharemystoryjordan@gmail.com, or you can find me on Facebook just under Jordan Wright.
Perfect. Well, Jordan, I am so happy that I had a chance to interview you today to learn more about your amazing book, The Mandala Chronicles, and all the other great skills that you have. I had the honor of helping you with your LinkedIn profile, and I look forward one day to actually meeting you in person other than on Zoom. So this is Rhonda Scher, founder of Unleashing LinkedIn, and today I've had the pleasure of interviewing Jordan Wright. Please reach out to Jordan if you're looking for anything, or if I can help you with LinkedIn, reach out to me at unleashinglinkedin@gmail.com. Until next time, I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.